must clean the dish before you put it in the dishwasher. What? Kenny's mom had this incredibly specific belief that the dishwasher was only meant for sanitizing, not cleaning. If you put a plate in there with a smear of sauce on it, she would pull each and every dish out of there, give you a lecture, and make you wash every dish before you put it back in. Kenny, look at this. A smudge of barbecue sauce. Now take these all out, rewash them, and put them in the dishwasher. Kenny spent 45 minutes every single night scrubbing clean plates and cups before putting it in the machine. He'd be there scrubbing, looking at it. Mom, it's literally called the dishwasher. Can't we just start putting them in there and that's it? No, Kenny. He does this for years. Scrub dish, put dish in dishwasher, dishwasher run, dish done. One day he goes to his friend Steve's house. They have dinner there. His mom takes all these greasy, messy, nasty plates and puts them directly in the dishwasher. Huh, so Steve, your mom just puts them in the dishwasher? Yeah, it's a dishwasher, Kenny. It washes the dishes. Bruh. Kenny then realized he spent years doing a pointless task because of his mom's OCD. Mom, Steve's dishwasher cleans their dishes just fine. Yeah, well, Steve's family probably shares a shower towel, so, jeez. I think she was a therapist. Nothing is worse than being grounded in the last week of summer. Ryan's entire friend group had been together since kindergarten, but tomorrow, more than half of them were going to a different high school, so they were gonna be split up. And this night was their last hurrah. It was the goodbye. But Ryan's mom didn't care about this. She cared that Ryan forgot to take the trash out on Wednesday. I don't care if it's an end of an era, Ryan. You showed lack of responsibility. You are not going to that bonfire. The bonfire was the event, across town at one of the buddies' houses. So that night, Ryan sat at his window, watching the group chat blow up with pictures of s'mores, the bonfire, smiling and laughing faces. It was the night his childhood was ending. He thought it was over, until he hears people talking outside of his house. Huh? What? He looks out and he sees Cam and his entire group of friends pulling lawn chairs out of Cam's dad's truck. All right, guys, grab them all. I got mine. Yeah, me too. They set up a portable grill in Ryan's driveway. They all sat around it, and they began roasting marshmallows. What are you guys doing? If you can't come to the fire, we're bringing the fire to you. So Ryan goes down there, and he joins them. Not long after, his mom comes out. She's angry. But just as she's about to snap, a minivan pulls up, and one of the kids' parents comes out. They're not there to pick up the kid. They're there to join. Oh, hey, Carla. Steven said that you were having a bonfire in the driveway. We're here to join you. So, to not look like a horrible mother, she just said, yeah, grab a seat. I'll go get some drinks for us. And just like that, 10 kids, 6 parents, and a golden retriever all hanging out in her driveway. And she realized she wasn't just about to be a strict mom. She was about to be the person that ruined these kids' summer. The last one they'll get like this. The night ended, the kids said their goodbyes, they went their separate ways. And that just proves it. When the group is strong enough, not even the grounding of the century could stop the party. It's beautiful. Most kids start a lemonade stand to make some extra cash, but Dax was playing a much darker game. He opened a barber shop in his garage, and even though his fades were terrible, every kid was lining up for a $5 buzz cut. Step up, who's next? It was like the social event of the summer. Everybody was hanging out, listening to music, laughing at how bad the haircuts were. Bro, you look goofy. What? But Miles noticed something weird. After every haircut, Dax was picking up some of the hair and putting it in a Ziploc bag. Huh. Once the day was over, Dax had cut like 15 people's hair. Miles stuck around and asked him, bro, why were you putting your hair in bags? Hey, check this out. He brought him to a shelf, and on that shelf was hundreds of Ziploc bags. Each of them had hair in it, and each of them were labeled. This is Miles from August 12th. This one is Cooper from July 4th. Look at all these. I had the genetic blueprint of the entire 8th grade right here, labeled and dated. Miles just laughed. Bro, you're weird. But Dax leaned in. Everybody thinks I'm a bad barber, which is true, but they don't realize I got a much bigger plan. Next time someone does me dirty, steals my seat at lunch, makes fun of me, I'm gonna find a crime scene anywhere, and I'm gonna drop their hair right in the middle of it. What? Let's say Miles calls me a loser. Well, I hear sirens. I follow the sirens. A crime scene. There was a murder. Miles goes right on the floor. The police. Whose hair is this? They go to the computer. It's Miles. Miles goes to prison for murder. Bro, that is so messed up. And it was. And obviously, that really wouldn't work. But Miles made sure to stay Dax's friend. just in case. You would hate for some of his hair to end up at a crime scene. Most teachers use seating charts to help keep the peace, but Mr. Miller used his in a different way. For the first month, Miller studied the room. He figured out exactly who was best friends and who couldn't stand each other. Then he released a mandatory seating chart. Okay, everybody, this seating chart is law, unless somebody has an offer. That's when he introduced the daily waiver. For the price of a premium snack and a cold drink, one student per day could buy their way into the seat right next to their friend. But that's the catch. He only did one trade per class. And it was actually kind of fun. The students loved this. Every morning it was like an auction, so he has to pick out the best of the snacks. I have Takis and a Capri Sun. Nah. I have milk and tuna. No, I got Airhead sour strips and an orange crush. Deal. And that's what he did the entire year. The kids thought it was pretty awesome, so in turn, they respected him, and the behavior was pretty good. The principal thought he was a genius, and Mr. Miller always had the best snacks. Every school had a dead zone, a room in the basement or a locked corner of the gym where chairs and desks go to die. Most people see a pile of trash, but to Mr. Henderson, it was a gold mine. The school budget for furniture was pretty much zero. If a chair leg snapped or the top of a desk cracked, it wasn't getting replaced. So for a decade, the chair graveyard grew. They see a mess, but I see a spare heart for the chair in room 203. Mr. Henderson didn't just guard the room. He was pretty much a furniture surgeon. He had a specific system. When one chair broke, he knew which piece to grab from the graveyard. He was swapping around parts like he was Frankenstein. See, this one can be saved, but this one's too far gone. Except that leg is looking pretty nice. I'll take this and I'll put it here. It's fixed. Well, the legend started when a group of 10th graders tried to steal a few chairs. So they go into this graveyard. Quick, grab one. So they tried to grab a few chairs, but this is when it happened. They pulled out one chair and the entire mountain collapsed right onto them. And Mr. Henderson was in the corner of the room watching. Well, boys. Trying to steal my stash? He obviously helped them up and gave them a few band-aids for their scrapes. And the punishment for breaking into the room and trying to steal the chairs, they had to reorganize it and stack everything back up perfectly. You gotta love Mr. Henderson. My home office has a window, and it directly faces my neighbor's living room window, 3 feet away. That was Toby. And for 6 months, Toby has not worked a single day without being watched. Every morning at 9 a.m. as Toby's sitting down at his desk to begin his work from home assignments, a tabby cat named Barnaby would take his position in his neighbor's living room windowsill, directly across from Toby. And the cat wouldn't sleep. He would just stare at Toby, right in his eyes, every day. It kind of creeped him out. It was this cat's routine. Well, by month 3, Toby kind of snapped. He decided if the cat wanted a show, he was gonna give him a show. It started with Toby finding a video titled Video for Cats, and he turned it around and faced it right towards Barnaby. Well, Barnaby wasn't impressed. The next day, Tony danced for Barnaby. It wasn't good, but he danced. Barnaby perked up. You could tell he was responding to this. Well, the next day, he put on a puppet show. I'm a puppet. Me too! Oh look, there's a cat! Now I also want to mention that Barnaby was an indoor-outdoor cat. One night as Toby was going to the store, he opens his front door and he sees a dead mouse sitting there on his porch. He got rid of the mouse, but every day after that, he kept receiving more and more items. A neighbor's gardening glove, a Hanes sock, a literal $1 bill. So he installed a camera doorbell to see what was going on, and he found the culprit. It was Barnaby, leaving gifts for Toby every night. It was like he was paying him for this entertainment he's been receiving. And ever since that day, Toby and Barnaby were best friends. Barnaby always sat in that opposite windowsill. Toby was always at his desk working. Until one day, Barnaby wasn't there. Toby was concerned. The next day, again, Barnaby, nowhere to be seen. So he goes over to his neighbor's house, knocks on the door. Barnaby had passed away. And Toby was heartbroken. Rest in peace, Barnaby. This kid, let's call him Steven. He spent an entire year saving up. We're talking birthday money, pulling weeds, every $5 bill he could find. He didn't use that money to buy games or food or candy or nothing. He bought a gallon of slate gray paint, some shelves, a desk, and some other things. He spent his entire spring break sanding the floors of his room, painting the walls, setting up his desk and his computer, all by himself. By the time he was done, he had the best room in the entire house. I did it. Steven then went to a 3-day science camp. Well, on Sunday, when it was over, he gets dropped off back at his house, and he enters through the garage. And in the garage, he sees it. His desk, his bed, his shelves, just sitting there in the middle of the garage. So what is going on? So he sprints upstairs. Well, the door to his room is locked, and he hears music coming from it. Well, his sister finally opens it. The gray paint was gone. It had been covered in a cheap coat of white, and his sister's ring light was right by the window. Her bed was there, with pink bedding. It was completely different. That's when his dad came out. Oh yeah, son, by the way, we moved your stuff out of your room. We figured your sister could have a better use for it. You see, his sister was a wannabe TikTok content creator, and he said her content was suffering because her old room had no natural light. And since Steven fixed up the room so nicely, it was the perfect studio for her. Where am I supposed to go? Well, your stuff's in the garage, son. Why don't you go build something in there? He spent his own money to renovate a room that he wasn't even allowed to keep. Another instance of horrible parents. This kid, let's call him Steven. He spent an entire year saving up. We're talking birthday money, pulling weeds, every $5 bill he could find. He didn't use that money to buy games or food or candy or nothing. He bought a gallon of slate gray paint, some shelves, a desk, and some other things. He spent his entire spring break sanding the floors of his room, painting the walls, setting up his desk and his computer, all by himself. And by the time he was done, he had the best room in the entire house. I did it. Steven then went to a 3-day science camp. Well, on Sunday, when it was over, he gets dropped off back at his house, and he enters through the garage. And in the garage, he sees it. His desk, his bed, his shelves, just sitting there in the middle of the garage. What is going on? So he sprints upstairs. Well, the door to his room is locked, and he hears music coming from it. Well, his sister finally opens it. The gray paint was gone. It had been covered in a cheap coat of white, and his sister's ring light was right by the window. Her bed was there, with pink bedding. It was completely different. That's when his dad came out. Oh yeah, son, by the way, we moved your stuff out of your room. We figured your sister could have a better use for it. You see, his sister was a wannabe TikTok content creator, and he said her content was suffering because her old room had no natural light. And since Steven fixed up the room so nicely, it was the perfect studio for her. Where am I supposed to go? Well, your stuff's in the garage, son. Why don't you go build something in there? He spent his own money to renovate a room that he wasn't even allowed to keep. Another instance of horrible parents. At this middle school, this gym class was brutal. Every single day, mile runs, rain or shine. No basketball, no dodgeball, just running. So when this kid showed up in a cast, people were jealous. No gym for him for like a month and a half. Eventually, he healed. But when the doctors took his cast off, they gave it back to him. And that gave him a brilliant idea. I have a brilliant idea. He reinforced the inside of the cast with foam, rewrapped parts of the outside with bandage tape, and kept the cast in a sling. Then he began making an offer to students. $50 a month. No gym, no questions asked. So what, I give you the money, you give me the cast, and I wear it for a month, and then I don't have to do gym? That's right, my furry little friend. What? Nothing. And it worked. Kids who paid would get the cast, put it on, and be limping around school, holding their arm like it hurt. They could even pay extra, and this kid would forge doctor's notes for them. Well, when they walked into gym class with his cast on, the gym teacher asked no questions. They were just gonna sit out, and that was that. Well, demand got so high, the wait list was pretty long. He even had people Venmoing him early to reserve a spot. Well, some teachers were starting to get skeptical about why so many kids were breaking their left arm, but it wasn't that big of a deal yet. And soon enough, this entire business fell apart. One of the kids who rented this cast for a month let his friend borrow it for his gym period. I don't want to do gym today, man. Bro, it's fine. Take this. I rented it. It's mine for the month anyway. Here, put it on. Nice. Super dumb move. So third period, one kid walks into gym class with the cast on. Then fourth period, a completely different kid walks in with the same cast on to gym class. The gym teacher clocked it immediately. They both got sent to the office. They snitched on the kid who ran this business, and boom, everything was shut down. Kind of a brilliant idea, but maybe it could have been executed better, but still, you gotta respect the hustle. They lost him during a thunderstorm. The backyard gate swung open and their dog was gone. For weeks, they searched. They put up posters everywhere. They called different shelters. Nothing. Then one afternoon, they're driving home. Their daughter sees something. Mom, that's Milo. Same golden fur, same curled tail, except a new collar. They pull over and they walk up to the door. Milo! His name's actually Charlie. He's cute though, huh? Feel free to pet him. Mom, do something. Where did you find him? Oh, we picked him up from a shelter. He was soaking wet, it was raining. We took him home. That's our dog. He was chipped. He wasn't chipped, and that's our dog. The girl kneels down. Milo, come here. See? He knows his name. Charlie, come here. But Milo didn't come. He was so happy to see his real owners. Quick, get Milo in the car. We're leaving now. Hey, wait. And they took the dog and they sped away. Honestly, I would have done the same thing. That's my freaking dog. That dude was seriously trying to keep him. That's messed up. It's 11:30 p.m. Jacob gets home from his friend's house when he realizes he forgot his house key. Oh, crap. Both parents are asleep. Front door locked, back door locked. He doesn't want to wake them, so he does what he thinks is smart. He walks around the side of the house and looks up. He sees his bedroom window, and he knows his window is unlocked. So he grabs the gutter, and he prays it doesn't break. And he starts climbing. Little does he know, the neighbor has been watching him this entire time, and she called the police because she thought someone was breaking into this house. Someone's breaking into my neighbor's house. Help! So as he's about halfway up, he hears, "Freeze! Get down!" What? No, I live here. Likely story. The cop then throws something at him, and he falls down hard onto the ground. All this ruckus has then woken this kid's parents, and they come outside, half asleep. Whoa, what's going on? That's my dad, I live here. Sir, do you know this kid? And the dad, he says, never seen him before in my life. What? The police then take this kid cuffed and put him in the car. They're about to bring him to the station. Then the mom comes out. What? No, that is our son. Yeah, he's ours. I was trying to scare him. They uncuff him. This kid's covered in dirt. He's obviously shaken up. And the dad says, bet you won't forget your keys again, huh? You are insane. That's kind of awesome. Every year, during the week of Halloween, there was costume day. On that day, kids went all out. Witches, zombies, villains, fake blood, the whole 9 yards. Well, on this particular year, there was a new principal. Fully buttoned up shirt, by the book, he never smiled. Attention students, this year, there will be no violent costumes on costume day. That means no witches, no monsters, no villains, so pretty much no Halloween. Just get creative, guys, you'll still have fun. Everybody was mad, but one kid spread this genius idea around the school, and pretty much everything went along with it. So Friday came. It was costume day, and almost every single kid walks into school that day wearing the exact same costume. Khakis, blue button-up shirt, weird wig, glasses, and a name tag that said Principal Hawthorne. Principal Hawthorne is standing in the hallway watching hundreds of mini-me's walk by him. What is going on? This is disrespectful. This costume is not allowed. No, it's allowed. It's not violent, isn't it? Your rule backfired. I hate my life. One day, randomly, this kid told his teacher, my grandma died. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, that night, the teacher emails the mom. I just wanted to say, I'm thinking of your family. Deborah was such a good woman. May she rest in peace. The mom reads it, and she freezes. Wait, what? Her mother-in-law wasn't dead. She was literally at bingo that night. A few minutes later, a different mom from school calls her. We're all gonna miss her so much. She was such an incredible woman. No, I'm sorry, there must be some sort of confusion. She's not dead. By the end of the night, half of the neighborhood is sending their condolences. Everyone thinks Grandma's gone. This one family even dropped off a casserole. She then confronts her kid. Hi, did you tell everyone that Grandma died? Yes. Why? I don't actually know. The mom then calls her mother-in-law to warn her about this entire situation. Oh, hi, sweetie. B27. Crap. Hey, Deb, so apparently you died today? Oh, well, no one told me. That's good to know. G26. Bingo! Hey, look, we got a sub. It was supposed to be an easy day. The regular teacher was out and the sub came in. And sure, a couple kids whispered during the lesson. One kid even tossed a paper airplane. But for the most part, the class wasn't bad at all. Well, the next morning, the regular teacher storms in. So, this is the note the sub left me, and I cannot believe you. Wait, what? The worst class I've ever seen. Total chaos. Students disrespectful, talking over instructions, disobeying, and disrespecting me. What? And the class erupts. Yo, that is not true at all. Yeah, this sub is lying. But the teacher slams the paper on the desk. I will not hear it. Every single one of you needs to have a 5-page paper written and turned in tomorrow on why what you did was wrong. And the class didn't really know what to do because they know they weren't that bad, but the teacher was just gonna believe the sub's note. And the sub definitely lied. One of my videos changed this kid's life. I don't know about all that, but it actually inspired him, he said. So he watched one of my stories about one of these businesses that kids ran in their school. And that's when it hit him. You know what? I could run a hustle too. And he did. He started small with gum and stickers. That week he made $90. His next move, he sold Venom energy drinks. And in just 2 weeks, he made $200. And these wins just kept building his confidence. After that, he decided he was gonna step up a lot. He was gonna make his own website and sell his own streetwear clothing brand. He called it Hype District, and he actually has a website. If you want to check it out, just Google Hype District Canva, and you can see it for yourself. And my friends, this is what happens when you Respect the hustle. So this kid gets yelled at for not turning in math homework. Teacher goes, "You'll never make it in the real world like this." And the kid said, "I'm not trying to make it in your world." The class laughs, the teacher's annoyed. Well, here's the thing. This kid's been working with his cousin on buying and fixing up old vending machines. They would then stock it and put it places. By senior year, he's got a handful of these vending machines. And he's pulling more money from these machines than most people make at full-time jobs. And it reminded me of this book I read, 5 Types of Wealth. It'll help you rethink how you're living your life and how you're spending your time, and what this book goes over will lead to success and happiness in multiple areas of your life. I promise. This teacher is insane for this. This class had just finished reading Lord of the Flies in English, and the teacher? She was passionate, maybe too passionate. So after they had finished reading this Lord of the Flies, the next day she tells them this. "Class, we are going into the woods tomorrow. Bring a backpack full of things. We're gonna live like the boys on the island." So next day they come with backpacks full of stuff and they head to the woods. No rules, no roles, just chaos. She hands them bandanas and points to the woods behind the school. "All right, go." One teacher and 20 students, and these weren't just regular kids. Somebody brought a pillowcase full of flour and was whacking people with it. Another kid filled a spray bottle with perfume and was spraying in another kid's eyes, trying to blind them. Take that. Soon there was turf wars, alliances, groups getting ambushed. Kids were using mud as war paint. They were getting feral. And the teacher was just standing there at the edge of the woods watching this go down like it's some sort of social experiment. Yes. 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 And it went way too far. Kids were getting bloody noses, one person was throwing up profusely, I don't know why, and the teacher didn't get in trouble for this, not even like a warning or anything. The principal didn't even know about any of this until a parent called a couple days later, but he still did nothing. And the crazy part is, the next year, this teacher did the same exact thing. Honestly, that sounds kind of fun. Oh my god, I puked in the garbage. This kid figured out that if you puked at school, they had to send you home. So one day, this kid wanted to get out of math class, so he brings a Ziploc bag to school. Well, the Ziploc bag was filled with chicken noodle soup, mashed bananas, and a splash of orange Gatorade. He walks into math class holding his stomach. Oh gosh. Then, right before the math test begins, "I think I'm gonna be sick." He runs to the garbage can, throws his head in there, and secretly dumps out the Ziploc bag. Oh my god, he threw up. What? Oh my god. Go to the nurse. Go home. I'm gonna call the janitor to get this garbage out of here. His Ziploc puke bag concoction looked like actual vomit. The teacher didn't want anything to do with it. His plan worked. Well, a couple days later, 3 other kids got sick, all using the exact same method. Turns out this freaking kid was selling pre-filled throw-up bags for $10 each and keeping them in his locker. Premium puke mix, $10, looks real and smells real. Step right up, step right up. He almost made $150 in a single week, but one kid kind of overdid it. Oh my god, I'm gonna puke. And threw the entire puke bag on the teacher's desk. Bro, what is this? The school caught on, a bunch of kids got in super big trouble, and this whole thing was shut down, but still. Disgusting, brilliant, profitable, you gotta respect the hustle. He made bank at school. It started in 7th grade, when one kid noticed the same thing every single week. Somebody forgot their lunch, somebody's card got declined, or somebody just straight up didn't eat. And every single time, they'd beg their friends for food or snacks at the table, and their friends are like, "No bro, get your own." Listen, I've been there. So this kid started a business, $5 a month, and if your lunch ever fell through, he would spot you, no questions asked. So he started carrying a backpack full of basic lunch foods, a bunch of PB&Js, chips, granola bar, juice boxes, nothing fancy, but it was food. He called this business lunch insurance. Brilliant. People laughed at him at first. Yo, this is a dumb business, dude. Oh, you think so? Just you wait. But during that first week of business, 4 kids needed this. Hey, remember when I called your idea dumb? First of all, I'm sorry. Second of all, I forgot my lunch again, and I think I'm just gonna subscribe to the service. Oh, okay. By month 2, he had 22 subscribers. And now he had tiers. Bronze tier got you a basic fix of food. Basic PB&J, basic granola bar, basic juice box. The silver tier came with kind of upgraded items. Maybe a salami sandwich, a Capri Sun instead of a basic juice box, and maybe he throw in a Nutter Butter or something. And Gold's tier had even better items, and on top of that, hot Cheetos. He had a clipboard and a list. This guy was official. And guess what, my friends? Business was absolutely booming. Eventually, a teacher saw him divvying out snacks to people. She thought it was a black market. Well, the kid explained it. Clipboard, the tiers, lunch insurance, customer feedback. The teacher just stared at him and said, You might be a genius, but stop with the hot Cheetos, okay? Those are banned at our school. And he did switch out the food. Instead of hot Cheetos, now he had Sun Chips, garden salsa, harvest cheddar. He was doing it right. By April, he had over 60 paying subscribers, and even a couple teachers on the list. His total revenue? $2,700. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid ran a movie theater out of his garage, and yeah, he made money. This happened last summer. This one kid in the neighborhood, let's call him Johnny, not a really popular kid, but you know, people didn't mind him. He had a brilliant idea. He set up a projector in his garage. He had a popcorn machine in there, and he lines up actual chairs with cushions on them, rows A through D. He charges $3 for admission and $2 extra if they wanted popcorn, and business was immediately booming. Every night, new movie. One night it's Kung Fu Panda 2. The next night, Jaws. Friday night, playing Ratatouille. He does double features on weekends. By mid-July, the whole block's pulling up. Parents are sending kids with snacks to share with everybody. Some dude's dad is grilling out hot dogs in the driveway. It's a whole thing. It becomes this amazing, beautiful frickin' movie theater on someone's cul-de-sac. But it did go sideways for a second. One night, the theater was showing The Meg. You know, big shark movie. I've never seen it. But some kid brought his little brother, and this movie caused this kid's little brother to absolutely freak the heck out. Crying, he's horrified. This kid's parents shows up and they're super mad. That night the movie had to be shut down. Yeah, I'm not sure if your kid is qualified to run something like this. Yeah, well, your son's a little baby. Excuse me? Oh, this is better than the movie. Enough! Johnny's mom was finally like, you know what, that's it, no more shark movies, keep it all PG. And for the next few films, he did. But then he went back to playing the variety of movies that he really enjoyed, and it was fine. He ran this theater for 42 nights straight. And by the end of summer, he made $300. Man, that sounds like the perfect frickin' business. And you know what? You gotta respect the hustle. Oh, my AirPods are nasty. I can clean them for a price. This started in 7th grade. Everybody had AirPods, but nobody would clean them, except this one kid. This kid had a pencil bag full of Q-tips. I made fun of him until one day this girl's looking at her AirPods and she says, ugh, there's like gunk in here. It's disgusting. And he goes, I can clean that, $1. She laughs, but he's already pulling out his cleaning kit. Toothpick, soft cloth, Q-tip, disinfectant swab. He's wiping it down like a surgeon. There. Oh my god, they look brand new. I know. Next day during lunch, a line is forming. People are handing over cash. You do pros too? Absolutely. What about these? Bro, these are knockoffs. I'll do them for 50 cents for you. Like I said, he keeps the tools in a pencil case and he has his cleaning services during lunch. He even sprays them with a minty finish. Then the math teacher walks up. Hey boyo, I hear you're the kid that cleans the AirPods. You heard right? Can you do these? Yeah. And Mr. Johnson, for you, these are on the house. By the end of the semester, he had made $180 from this business, which is a little over 180 AirPods cleaned. And he made all this money from cotton swabbing earwax out of AirPods. You gotta respect the hustle. It was supposed to be a regular Easter egg hunt. Colorful eggs, kids running around, but for some reason that year it went completely off the rails. This was some years back. The school threw an Easter egg hunt, and the whole community showed up. Dozens of kids in the field, baskets in their hand. And then there's the parents. Stick with me, sweetie, I know where they put the gold ones. Don't just stand there, go right there, under the bench. They weren't just cheering them on, they were coaching them. They were controlling the situation. Some parents are diving through bushes. Oh, I see one, get back. One dad grabs 5 eggs and gives them to his kid. Hey yo, that was my kid's egg, you saw us going for that. Oh, shut your mouth, your kid's a loser. Then it pops off. Moms are throwing themselves across the grass. Dads are squaring up. Yeah? Come on, man, you want some of this? What you got, man? What you got, huh? Oh, It got so bad that by the end, 5 people were injured and one of them had to be airlifted by a helicopter to the nearest hospital. Thankfully, nobody died. But from that year on, the school had a strict rule that the Easter egg hunts were only for the kids. That makes perfect sense to me. Presentations are today? I'm screwed. Hey, come here. I got you. This kid had over 200 PowerPoints just sitting on a flash drive. Every single one of them he made for fun. But then he turned it into a genius business. This started around 8th grade. This kid named Liam, quiet kid, kept to himself. For some reason, this guy was obsessed with making PowerPoint presentations. The history of water slides, the rise and fall of AOL, why birds might be smarter than we think. Just anything. At first, everyone thought it was just his thing, like his little quirk, until one day someone forgets to do their presentation for a class. Kids in full panic mode. What's the presentation on? Invasive species. I've got one on killer bees. Does that work? That's perfect. Kid turns it in, changes the title slide, and boom, he gets a B. That works. And just like that, it begins. He starts selling them PowerPoints on every single topic. Historical events, weird science, fast food history, literally anything. $10 per presentation and $15 if you had to have him customize it a little bit. He called it the Vault. Some of them people bought didn't even make any sense for what they had to turn in, but it was still better than nothing. By the end of the year, he had made over $500 doing this, and he says he plans to keep on doing it because he just loves making PowerPoints and he doesn't see himself ever stopping. So the supply is endless. You gotta respect the hustle.
এর লাগা চুপ আছিলাম, কিন্তু অহনা চুপ থাকান যাইব না।
কিরে সাজান,
আমরা মানি না, আমগো খানদানে আমরা এক গ্লাস পানি পর্যন্ত ডাইলা না খাই।
আমাগো খানদানে আছে।
এই ভাবি একটা ফালতু খানদান থেকে আইছে, এই সব খানদানের আমি ধারদারি না।
চলো না আমরা বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই।
তুমি কি পাগল হয়ে গেছো নি? এইটাই আমার বাড়ি এখনতে।
চৌধুরী সাহেবের সাথে আমি কি কথা কইছি? তুমি কোনো কথাই কই নাই কা? সাজান তোমারে কইলো এত
দিচ্ছেন, হ্যাঁ দিচ্ছেন না? এলা বাইরন, আমার বাড়িতে বাইরন।
একবারে হাসা কইছেন আব্বাজান। আপনার পোলার এই বাড়ি পোলার কোনো বিতলামি করলে আমি তোরা ঘাড়াই, কিন্তু ভাবলাম আপনাকে একমাত্র পোলা ঘাড়াইলে আবার দিলে চোট পাই।
দিতাছো তুমি?
শোনো, তোমাগো খানদানে যেমন কিছু নিয়ম আছে, আমাগো খানদানেও আছে।
এই সব ফাত্রা নিয়ম কেউ যেন জানবার না পারে, মনে থাকবো তো? তোর যে নতুন ভাবি
হয়ে যাইবো।
যা মন চায় তাই করো, এই ফোন আমি দিব না। কার লগে কথা কইতাছো? হ্যাঁ
আমার ফোন দাও।
আরে বাপ রে বাপ, কইতেছো কি তুমি? আমার খানদানি পোশাক আমি খুলে ফেলামু, তুমি কি আমার অর্ডার করতেছো?
শিউলিমালা যা কয় তাই অর্ডার।
শেষ আমি দেইকা লমু কিন্তু কয়ে দিলাম।
আম্মা
ওই কি ভাবতেছো? ভাবা ভাবি বাদ দাও কইলাম। অহনি পোশাক চেঞ্জ করে আসো, নাহলে তোমার সারা রাত গা চুলকাই। আমি শাহজাহানের আব্বা আম্মা দিলে চোট পচাইছি, এর প্রতিশোধ নিতে গিয়ে শাহজাহান তোমাকে মতে
বইয়ের হাতে মার খাওয়া চলে, তাই কিছু কই নাই কা।
আমাগো খানদানে জামাই মারনের নিয়ম নাই কা।
তুই আমার এখান থেকে যাবি না মানে কি? অক্ষণ তুই বাইরবি।
আব্বা
তুমি কিন্তু আমার একটা ভিডিও কলও করো না। সোনিয়া, অ্যাঞ্জেল সোনিয়া।
তুমি কি শুরু করছো?
আরে আমি করলামটা কি? আমি যেখানে বয়ে আছি।
এই আমার ফোন দাও, দাও কইতাছি।
ছাড়ুম না।
কি দাও? ছাড়ো কইতাছি, আমার ফোন দিব না আমি।
এইটা আমগো খানদানি রীতি, তুই বুঝছ না?
আব্বা গতকালকে রাত্রে বেলা এমন সেটিং দিছি।
আব্বা ফোন দিয়ে কি করেন আপনি?
এই কথা কই, গান শুনি, এই আর কি।
বাস এই দুইটা কামের জন্য।
হায় হায়, করছে কি আমার খানদানির ইজ্জতের ফালুদা খেয়ালাইছে।
বাবা বাবা কস কি? এত বড় বদ জামাই।
হারামজাদায় আমার মা।
শাহজাহান
শাহজাহানের সাজদা বাগান হুয়ে গেছে গা।
শাহজাহান শুনো না,
কও।
বুঝার পারলাম না, বাড়ি মারলা আমারে, কান্দলা আমি কাঁদুম, তুমি কাঁদতাছো কেলা?
তারপর আর কি? সারা রাত কই আসলো, কি করছে আমি জানি না। আমার লাগে কেউ
আপনি তো আপনার শ্বশুর বাড়িতে গিয়া ঠিকই হ্যাঁ নিয়ম কানুন অক্ষর অক্ষরে পালন করছেন, আর আমারতে আয়া মিছা গপ।
তুমি কি কইবার লাগছো এগুলা? তোমার কি মাথা আউট হয়ে গেছে নি? এত বড় স্পর্ধা আমার আদেশ। আর আমি যে তোর রুমে আইছি, রাইতে ঘুমাইছি,
আসার পর থেকে আমাকে বাসে শান্তি সব চলে গেছে।
আয় হায় খাইছে করছোটা কি তুমি?
তুমি একটা ভিডিও কল করে পাঠাও প্লিজ প্লিজ। কবে আমগো দেখা
কোচিনটা কি এটা আবার লগে এমন চিপা মাইটা দিয়েছেন? ও কেমন খানদান বউ?
তারপর তো ভয় কাঁচে মুচু খায়া গেছে গা, তারপর আবার দুর্নাম করতে হইব।
এই তোর কি তোর দামি ফোন?
আইসে বাবজান রাইতে ঠিকঠাক মতো ঘুমাইছে তো নাকি বাসায় গিয়া আব্বাজান রে কইবেন
কি করছো যেটা তুই বাজার রে বাজার যাও চলছে আজকাই করছে
সম্মান সব পাঞ্চার করে দিছে।
মাগার দোষ আমারও আছে, আমি একটু বেশি বাড়াবাড়ি করে ফেলছি। চলো না আমরা বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই।
তুমি কি পাগল হয়ে গেছো নি? এইটাই আমার বাড়ি এখনতে।
চৌধুরী সাহেবের সাথে আমি কি কথা কইছি? তুমি কোনো কথাই কই নাই কা? সাজান তোমারে কইলো এত
দিচ্ছেন, হ্যাঁ দিচ্ছেন না? এলা বাইরন, আমার বাড়িতে বাইরন।
একবারে হাসা করছেন আব্বাজান। আপনার পোলার এই বাড়ি পোলার কোনো বিতলামি করলে আমি তোরা ঘাড়াই, কিন্তু ভাবলাম আপনাকে একমাত্র পোলা ঘাড়াইলে আবার দিলে চোট পাই।
দিতাছো তুমি?
শোনো, তোমাগো খানদানে যেমন কিছু নিয়ম আছে আমাগো খানদানেও আছে।
এইসব ফাত্তার নিয়ম কেউ যেন জানবার না পারে, মনে থাকবো তো? তোর যে নতুন ভাবি